Welcome back. Herzlich willkommen alle miteinander. Today we've got the next webinar with Malte Biss, the head of Flustix, and he will talk about a little bit about green claiming on recycled goods. So a little bit how the landscape, especially jurisdictional, will evolve in the next years in the EU. As the recycling industry will change a little bit, but more about that he will talk about himself. We will do the webinar in English and the Q&A afterwards we will do in German. Have fun. Mr. Biss, your stage. Let's go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bott. Thank you very much. So my name, as told by Mr. Bott, is Malte Biss. I'm the founder and CEO of Flustix. Since 2017, we certify products which are working on plastic sustainability. So a little introduction. So what's happened at the moment on legal side? The environmental claiming is growing very fast at the moment. Everybody can see it when you go through the supermarket. And in the course of the Green Deal, the European Union has an urge to act because it is to avoid that green claiming experiences the same uncontrolled increase as it happened at the beginning of the century with the wide growth of fields for example, the organic food segment like bio or eco. So the EU absolutely wants to prevent that. For that, I do have a little presentation for you about the green claiming, what's coming up and what's going on at the moment and what will happen in the next future. So green claiming on recycled goods and how can the consumer rely on? At first, I want to tell you a little bit about what Flustix is. Flustix is an initiative to avoid unnecessary plastic in products and components. Where plastic is necessary, Flustix helps to keep it in the loop as long as it's possible. With 5 different trust marks, we certify different kinds of plastic sustainability and plastic reduction. And here today, on this case, the most important seal is the Flustix RECYCLED seal. You can see on the right hand, because we are on the mood for the EREC. And for this, together with our partner DIN Certco, it's a conglomerate of DIN, German Institute for Innovation, and from the TÜV Rheinland, we worldwide audit and certify recyclates, raw material and components, as well as finished products made of recycled plastics with the trust mark Flustix RECYCLED. So why is this important to build a big system behind it? Because the green claiming of products and components must celebrate some very important things. The most important thing is that you work with the consumer, because the consumer has the power to change things. Consumers must be able to decide. They must be able to make a purchase decision, so they can have the power to change some things. So they must see and must inform themselves on the first glance about the environmental impact of a product according to plastic. Second thing is the independent certifications are the cornerstones of such a sign. That means that there has to be an independent audit and conformity assessment, as well as the independent certification. This is very important. The third thing is that the consumer wants to have reliable information, and this shows the current study which was made internationally, and that says about the consumer behavior that manufacturers have recognized the advantage of sustainable action. They said that 77% of the companies surveyed state that sustainability leads to more customer loyalty. This is very important for the companies. And 73% were even able to increase brand sales. This is a second very important thing for every company. The study was made, you can see on the right hand down. On the page on the right hand. The second term is the term of communication. There's still some catching up to do, because while 2 out of 3 executives believe that their customers are very familiar with their sustainability initiatives, around every second consumer stated that they did not know how to check the sustainability claims of products. So this is it shows consumers do think different than the executives in a lot of ways, because 41% of the consumers do not trust the unverified information on sustainability on each product. And this trust can only be created with a reliable, independent certification system like Flustix does offer. So, how the EU wants to influence green claiming. This is a very important thing, what actually is going on EU level decision. Yeah, it's currently being examined whether manufacturers' own declarations of sustainability require legally binding proof. And yes, this will come. I think up to December they will make a decision, and 2021 there will come some regulations. At first, there are 2 steps what actually is going on. The first step, the step A, is demands discussed at an actual inception impact assessment by the EU. You can see on the right hand down, this is the legislative proposal on sustainable green claims. And that means, or there is a look for how consumers and business, they do need reliable, comparable and verifiable information to make sustainable decisions. The second step is market actors do not have access to simplified, immediate and trustworthy information on environmental performance of the product they do deal with. So this is a very important information for the business and for the consumer, so that they can act sustainable. On the second hand, this is a B, demand of the CAP. The CAP, you can see on the right hand down, is the Circular Economy Action Plan by the EU, which is involved in the Green Deal. So they mentioned that increasing recycled content in products is absolutely important, and this must be while ensuring their performance and safety. So what everybody knows at the moment is the restricting single use, the single use demand on the EU, or like we already have in Germany. And the third thing is the developing for the first time rules on measuring recycled content in product. This is something that I will show you on the next pages because Flusting is offering it. So the next thing is that something happens, the quick enactment on the single-use plastic regulation in 2020 showed that restrictions, laws and regulation can apply very quickly. Suppliers and manufacturers need to be prepared. This is very important because you saw in 2020 that it came very fast. So I see time is running out. So what can we do next, and what can we do a little bit fast forward? So how German law and companies are about green claiming. So in Germany, we do already have the German Packaging Act according paragraph 21, this is very important because the use of recycled material brings financial benefit. Second thing is the increasing legal dispute between companies. So a lot of companies, big players, accuse each other of greenwashing because they don't trust each other's claiming on sustainability. This will happen with the very big companies, and they are standing in front of the judgment. So there is very important that there's a big need for clear definitions. One example is when you claim ocean plastic, this can mislead consumers, as judgment already says. Several NGOs are warning against trickery with recycling logos. Outside in the supermarket, you can see it, because they do have less information and they don't have an independent system behind. So another, on the second step, next to the NGOs, several European federations of consumer organizations are actually monitoring the future of green claiming. This is also very important, mostly important for the companies. So regarding green self-declaration courts issue more and more judgment. Independent monitoring and certification will soon be mandatory here. There's something coming up. How can a legally secure declaration for the company look like? This is very important when you will declare something on your product with recycled products or made by recyclates. Most important thing that the whole system is tax accredited. The second important thing that it's very relevant to public procurement, because you want to take part at this level, because it's a lot of money that you can do and earn there with your company. So it must be very accepted by international policies. It must be accepted by European Union, because it must be an international system, and the declaration must be absolute legal certain, because I show you on the page before. Transparency of the system must provide protection against consumer misinterpretation. This is always the same thing as we had on the page before. And all these things are benefit by Flustix RECYCLED, because Flustix RECYCLED offers a lot of things in just one seal. So we certify all goods, partly or fully made of plastic recyclates, for the Flustix RECYCLED certification. This is for B2C. Or we also do certify recyclates as raw materials, the flakes and regrind can be certified. This is for B2B, so everybody is sure that he has good material and certified material which he uses or which he buys to build up a product. Flustix RECYCLED is awarded based on DIN ISO 14021, and this shows that it's an international and globally trust mark that you can use around the world, because the recycled market is absolutely international, and there are no, the dealing with the material is globally. The benefits of the trust mark I will show you at the end of the webinar. We will give you information where you can get the presentation so that you see the whole information. So Flustix RECYCLED and the future steps. We don't stand still. We will look forward, and we do see, and we are always on the stakeholder conferences in Brazil, and be a part of the Green Deal and the CEP. And so we will move on. So we want to have a look and make in the next time a certification of recyclates and products which are made by chemical recycling. This is the next step. So when you think of food contact or anything else, this is very important, but it's discussed. So second next step will be the certification of other recycled materials besides synthetics. For example, maybe it's glass, it's metal, it's cement, and other building materials, because nobody outside knows when he does have a recycled glass or recycled metal in his hand, or when he built up his house, maybe he want to do something good for environmental and use recycled building materials. And together with declara, and this is another thing that's very important, maybe you do have an advice later. Together with declara, Flustix is doing a market analysis to determine whether there's a demand for genuine and independent certification of the recyclability based on international standards, because I think the international trade of products will be very important. In Germany, you will only have market access when your product is, absolutely recyclable. So this is a very short look on our system. This is a short look what we are doing, and a short look on what is upcoming on the green claiming market outside. So I will be open for any question and say thank you very much for your attention. Please ask us. I will let the slide here so you have our contact addresses and our website where you can find anything, and please feel free and be welcome to ask some questions or send us some informations if you like to. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Biss, thank you very much. It was a very, very nice view on how the landscape will evolve. Thank you for that. Sadly, our time is already up. So for anybody who has further questions or wants to get in contact with you, please use the email address provided. I posted it into the chat as well. And I can already thank you for all of that. Mr. Biss, do you have any last words for our viewers?
So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to hear or see you or receiving an email from you so that we can change some things, or maybe we can support you by your claiming of recycled products, recycled content, or the recyclates themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we will head over right to the next webinar. You are all invited to that. We will hear from Utesh, from their head of, from the CEO, Mr. Uttler, who will give a quick interview on Unfälle auf dem Recyclinghof and how to prevent those. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you, Mr. Biss.
Thank you. Bye.